sitting, at this upcoming bye week. And it's time to discuss what the Jets got going on. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to cover a lot of topics. We're going to talk about, the team, the evaluation, where it is right now. So we're going to get into it. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in, if you can. And we're going to talk Jets. So hold on 1 second, folks, and I'm going to get the show started. 1 second.
Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on, folks? It's your boy Long Beach Joe, and we are back at it again. Got the Jets now, coming up on that bye week. This is an important week for us to rest up, get some players back, hopefully. Hopefully we get Gerard Davis back into the fold. But we're going to be talking about what the New York Jets have looked like up as till now. A lot to discuss here. A lot of the things that the Jets are going on. We also got Marcus Maye talking about wanting to be traded. We're going to discuss that as well. But listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. Listen, your boy is on iTunes as well, okay? Your boy's on iTunes. Long Beach Joe Show. Go ahead and subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. All the cool kids are doing it. You should do it too. Also, when you subscribe, leave your boy some feedback as well. I want to thank everybody that does leave feedback. I want to hear about what people think about what I'm doing here, talking about the New York Jets, talking about football, all the discussions that we have. I want to hear your feedback for it. So, please leave your boy some feedback. I'm also on Twitter as well at YoungJ000. Go ahead and follow me there. I'll follow you right back. We can go back and forth. I'm also, the show's page as well is The Long Beach Joe, at The Long Beach Joe on Twitter. Go ahead and follow that. Let's go back and forth. Let's talk about the Jets. I'm also live as well. For those of you that only listen to me on Blog Talk or listen to me through iTunes, I'm also live as well on YouTube. We live stream the show. We done upgraded, baby. We way up. I said we way up, okay? We upgraded over here. We've been doing this. Your boy live streams the show, so if you want to see this beautiful face along with this great voice and great takes, go ahead and tune into the YouTube, all right? YouTube, Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets is the YouTube. Go over to that page, subscribe, turn on your notifications, give my videos a thumbs up, all right? We game on that channel. We watch the games together. We also do the live radio shows. If you are not subscribed to Long Beach Joe Jets, you're missing out. Don't be that. Don't miss out. Come on in. You know what I'm saying? So Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. So we got a lot to speak about today. This Jets team, we're sitting here at the bye week now. We're 1-4. We're looking at a situation and we're saying to ourselves, hey, where can this team go? What are some of the things that we've seen in this team that's been positive? What are some of the things that we've seen in this team that we're very concerned about? So we're going to discuss that quite a bit. Salutes to all the savages in the chat. Salutes to Eddie DeJesus. Salutes to everybody that's stopping by. But before we get to that, I know everybody that's watching me live is saying, Joe, why are you wearing pink? Why do you have that pink shirt on? You look amazing in it. I wear pink because I support the fight against breast cancer. I also support breast cancer awareness, okay? I also support breast cancer awareness. And let me tell you something. I have a big-time fundraiser, again, with the Susie G. Komen Foundation. All right? You folks can go on to all of my social media platforms, look at my link tree. It's there. But I also like to discuss with people about the impact of breast cancer. We also like to make sure that we put forward how serious it is. So tonight we're going to have a guest on, Mrs. Alina Clavel. She's going to come on and share her story of dealing with breast cancer and let us know some of the impacts that it can have on people and families as well. So, Alina, I want to thank you for coming on tonight. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing, Joe?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So, first question I want to ask you is, how did you find out about your breast cancer diagnosis?
Okay, well, in 2015, actually 2014, I felt a lump on the side of my breast, so underneath my armpit, on the side of my breast, and I opted to get my primary care physician looked at it, sent me for ultrasound. Once getting an ultrasound, I was looking at the image and I questioned the radiation therapist. When I did that, he explained to me what he saw and why he thought it was not cancer. But being who I am, I asked more questions, and what I saw was the opposite of what he saw. So I pressed for biopsy. And once finally he agreed to doing a biopsy after going back and forth a little bit, he did the biopsy, and a week later I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Wow. So what were some of the things that kept you upbeat at that time to keep you fighting through, the treatments and everything?
I think one of the main things was I was just blessed with a niece. And so she gave me that extra fight. I just immediately wanted to see her grow, and I was so scared that the latter would happen. We have great treatments for breast cancer, but with metastatic breast cancer, it's harder to come back from. So, I was more concerned on my treatment plan and everything like that, but I do know that I needed to keep a positive outlook on it and to keep myself upbeat and moving forward so that I was in the best nature for fighting, this disease. Is already going to take a toll on my body, and I just needed to be more positive than anything. And I have a great support system. I have family and friends that were there for me, and I wanted to be a testimony to other people.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's some of the things that we've heard from other people that we've had come on as well and talk about how impactful, having family there, having someone with you there to help, share those tough times and times when you need to shoulder lean on to cry, or just giving you that strength and support. And again, I want to continue to just thank you for coming on and sharing your story. Now, my next question for you, Alina, is how important is early detection?
I think early detection is very important. Like I said, we have great treatments. We have great treatment plans. We have great support for breast cancer. More people are becoming aware about it. But once you get to stage 4, and although they can prolong your life, there's no cure for stage 4. And I think that being an advocate for yourself is huge. And early detection, it's about advocating also, because the medical industry, they don't see, I think they're starting to see that it's becoming more prevalent in younger people and people that don't have a family history. And at one point, that's what we were used to, is if you have the BRCA gene or family history, then it was possible for you to have it. Or an older woman, they expected possibility of it. But now that it's hitting younger and younger, I think it's so important to be an advocate for yourself. You know how your body feels, what's normal and what's not. And I think the importance of being able to tell somebody else what you're feeling in your own body is key. And being an advocate for yourself and not giving up if you know that there's something wrong within yourself.
Yes.
Explaining that and just getting more answers by asking questions and getting second opinions.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And I mean, you're really, again, bringing it, Alina. You're really telling us, how it is. And again, I want to thank you for sharing your story. Now, my next question for you is, what are some positive words that you can give to people that are dealing with this situation right now?
I think some positive words would be to live in the moment, and truly experience everything that you're going through. I think it's tough to be an advocate sometimes, but I think that for me, at least, I get joy from being able to help other people and being a testament.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I can help the next person if they have questions. I may not have all the answers, but I'm going to help you look for the answers. So I think just knowing that, we are put in this position to help the next person is not necessarily a positive word, but I think the feeling behind it is really positive, and it can be a positive impact on yourself as well as another person.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, Alina, it has been phenomenal to speak with you tonight. Can you please give our audience some things that you have coming up? I know you have some things going on with some breast cancer charities as well, some events that you're doing. Also, can you share some social media as well with them? So in case they're going through this situation, maybe they can get in contact with you as well.
Sure. The main social media site that I use is Instagram. My name is Alina Clavel, but on my Instagram, it's A for my first name, Clavel, Clavel 85. I'm very responsive on there. I've talked to actually many young women whose either family is going through it or they've been diagnosed themselves. We've had little conversations. We support one another. I'm also a part of the Southern California breast cancer group called the SoCal Breasties. Shout out to them. We're a community of young breast cancer women, and there's no age discrimination at all. We just happen to all be really young. And we it's such a great community because we understand what we're going through with treatments, with hormone therapy, and it's hard to talk to someone that hasn't gone through it. So we're very supportive of one another. There's different chapters within the Breasties. And I do have a Facebook. I don't really respond much on Facebook, so I think the best bet would be on Instagram, Clavel85. Or now I have a TikTok. I haven't done much on it, but we'll get there. And then I do have an event coming tomorrow through the Susan G. Komen Circle of Promise. We are doing 4 under 40. So 4 of us that were diagnosed under 40 years old, and we will be speaking tomorrow at Lamar Park in Los Angeles. That will begin at 2:30. There is open invitation, and there's it's free admission. So if anyone's looking forward to learning a little bit more or hearing somebody speak on a panel, you're welcome to join us. And I think that's all I can think of as at the moment. But yeah, just reach out to me in case you have any questions or
No, look,
anything.
absolutely. Listen, Alina, it has been phenomenal speaking with you again. I want to thank you for coming on and just continuing to share your story of how courageous you were. A lot of people, we've had a man on as well that has breast cancer. A lot of people don't understand that this is real. This is something that definitely affects a lot
Right.
of people out there. And you coming on sharing your story of courageousness really, really is a bright spot for me and my audience as well.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And
So
can I say one more thing?
go ahead, ma'am.
With Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we are so grateful to see all the support with Pink, and you just know that everyone's fighting with us. And if you want to give back to companies that are going to donate 100% proceeds to breast cancer research, please, because sometimes it is a marketing tool, and I think there's research companies, or not companies, I'm sorry, like foundations such as Mediviver who are putting the money forth for like stage 4 breast cancer patients. So it's a good use to donate to those foundations.
Yes, absolutely. Well,
And also hold these corporate
go.
companies accountable.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I definitely hear that. Well, Alina, I want to thank you for coming on again, sharing your story. You have yourself a good night, all right?
Thank you, too, Joe.
All right, you have a good one. Listen, that was Miss Alina Clavel coming on, speaking to us about breast cancer and the seriousness of it, the awareness we're continuing to spread. Again, I'm wearing pink because I'm all about fighting against breast cancer. I'm also about spreading breast cancer awareness. For those of you that are watching, ! Komen in the chat brings up a fundraiser that I have started with the Susie G. Komen Foundation, trying to raise about $250. I know it's a small amount, but we're doing what we can to try to help, fight against breast cancer and again, spread breast cancer awareness. So for those of you, that are watching or listening or anything like that as well, if you'd like to give $1, $2, anything that you can give is greatly appreciated. Please hit that link. Donate the money if you can. Again, all of that money, all of it goes directly to the Susie G. Komen Foundation. It goes directly to funding, again, the fight against breast cancer and continuing to bring breast cancer awareness and also breast cancer research too. So it all goes to fund that, goes straight to them, and I'll just continue to support them as well. So again, I want to, thank Alina for coming on and everybody, with the Susie G. Komen Foundation as well, because we're working the fight. I'm fighting it. It's touched my family. I'm sure it's touched a lot of other people's families as well. So, yeah. So now, with that said and done, we're going to move on. We're going to talk about some Jets. We're definitely going to talk about some Jets, man. But before we get to talking about the Jets, I need to talk about GM sending in a big donation. I said GM sent in the big donation. GM says, I'm here. Look, if Marcus Maye don't want to be here, get him out of here. Free Mims. It's time for him to play and blow up. GM letting the words be spoken. GM talking that talk. Salutes to GM. I want to thank him again for GM again for donating to the platform. It's greatly appreciated. Look, we're going to talk about that. And I got quite a bit of callers. I'll get to the lines in just a second. I really just want to talk about the Marcus Maye situation before we start talking about the team. GM, brought that up as well. And again, salutes to all the savages in the chat, Eddie DeJesus, NY Jets FL, all my guys. Listen here, man. The situation with Marcus Maye is just continuing to ramp up. Again, we know that the trade deadline is coming up on November 2nd. And he's pretty much said that he's, he wants to be traded to a contender. He's a guy that's looking to move forward, kind of get away from the Jets. As we all know, Marcus Maye was franchised this past offseason. We were hoping we would be able to get a deal done with him, but it wasn't able to get done. They ended up franchising him. He's making about $10.6 million. And the second they franchised him, things just spiraled. It's been up with his agent. His agent has been on social media going crazy constantly. He definitely came out and said some things about the franchise as well. His agent immediately attacked, Joe Douglas and the Jets, talking about how they, keep their players and they don't want to reward a team leader and all these things, we constantly heard, right? Well, then Marcus Maye ends up, signing. He's playing this season. Then he hurts his ankle a couple weeks ago. Pops up on the injury list, and then all of a sudden, his agent comes out and says, "Don't worry." He tweets this, "Don't worry, Marcus Maye will be fine right before the trade deadline. He'll be back healthy right before the trade deadline." And everybody goes, "Why would you tweet something like that? Why would you tweet that Marcus Maye would be fine right before the trade deadline?" Kind of made people wonder, what's going on here, right? So as far as everybody was concerned, they said, okay, well, look, maybe we do need to move on from Marcus Maye, but there's a couple things, right, that has transpired since then that I think is going to hinder us a little bit in us trying to move on from him. One of those things, one of the major things being that, hey, all of a sudden, maybe a week or 2 weeks ago, we get hit with Marcus Maye is involved in the DUI arrest. Okay, he still has DUI charges, swirling around his head. Again, he had a Zoom court meeting that was supposed to come up. It's been pushed back a little bit. So again, we'll see what happens from that. But he was flying down in Florida. Actually, had an accident as well with a Volvo. The owner of the Volvo is also still looking to, possibly go after him as well in court. He may face a civil, situation from that. But with those DUI, things swirling around his head, because again, the police did see him. They caught him in there and he reeked of alcohol. He also had throw up on him, all kinds of things, right? So with that swirling around his head, you want to start to wonder, how much can you actually get from Marcus Maye at this point? Because that brings up a question of character, right? Because one, he got a DUI. Does that, that in my brain could absolutely lower his value. And then two, supposedly, again, the reports are still flying around out there. Supposedly, it wasn't reported to the Jets, and it also wasn't reported to the NFL, because even the Jets beat writers didn't know. Even the Jets beat writers knew nothing up until, a little time ago, a week, a couple days ago? Nothing. So you start to wonder, if you're a team that's looking to make a move for Marcus Maye, or if you were a team that was looking to make a move for Marcus Maye, can you trust this guy? One, can you trust to give him money? Because, again, when you do trade for him, you're going to have to give up capital, and then you're also going to have to give him an extension, right? Can you trust this guy with money? Can you trust that when you bring this guy in the building that he won't go out and make another bonehead decision? Now, again, Marcus Maye up until this point hasn't had, a lot of issues off the field, but when you get into situations like this, these are the questions that come about from other teams, especially teams that are looking to get you. Then you also got a question as well, with it, being up in the air, whether it was reported to the Jets properly or not, or reported to the NFL or not. Then also, if you're an opposing team that's looking to move for him, you also got to think, if he does get into these situations, are we going to know before anybody else does? Is he going to come to us and keep it real with us the same way we would keep it real with him? Those are big time questions. There's a lot of, hits that you take in the trust factor there. So we're going to be discussing that tonight. I know that there's different teams that are supposedly in the talks. The Rams are, supposedly floating around there as a team that's in the discussion to be looking to make a move for him. Also the Bucks, that team has been mentioned. But let me tell you something. I trust Joe Douglas in this situation because I've seen Joe Douglas be able to make moves that compensate well for the New York Jets. Getting rid of Jamal Adams for 2 first-round picks and a couple of change, I love that move all day long. And there was no way in the world that you would have been able to tell me that we would have gotten 2 first-round picks for that overrated box safety. That guy was a car crash here, man. Woo! Remember that situation. He traded him when it was at its worst. Jamal Adams was going crazy. He was telling people he didn't want to be a Jet. He was looking to go to the Cowboys. It was all kind of things going on around here. He came out, did an interview with Manish Mehta. I mean, he did it all. It was completely crazy. And he ended up getting rid of that guy, getting 2 first-rounders, and getting some more picks. Then you also got to look at him making a trade, Chris Herndon, for a 4th. Wow. Chris Herndon did nothing here. And honestly, you look at, with the Vikings, he's done nothing there either. But I tell you what, he got a 4th rounder for Herndon, who had done nothing here at all. What a move. I've seen JD make solid moves. I'm talking solid moves. So we're looking to see what happens. Again, maybe that trade may happen while I'm live here, but that's definitely, up. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers as well. If you're watching, please give the stream a thumbs up and share the stream, okay? It's always greatly appreciated. I love, running into people that say, hey, this person brought me to the stream. This person did that, Please share the stream if you can with your friends or family across your social media, all those things. We're about to get to the lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. The lines are hot, so just please be patient. We will get to everybody. So tonight, the first caller is going to be Monty. Monty's on the line, and I know Monty is talking that talk, and we're going to get straight to him. Monty, salutes. I want to thank you for calling in tonight.
Am I on here?
Yeah, you're on here. You're on. Yes, I can hear you. You want to know why?
Okay.
Because you want to know why I can hear you, Monty? I can hear you because my security alarm goes off.
Why?
It goes off. It goes off. When I hear Monty, I pay top dollar for good security. You're not going to get away like you used to in the past, my man. You're not slipping by anybody, all right? Nobody. So.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, first off, man, I just want to thank you, man. I want to thank you for having Elena on the podcast, man. It's I know we talk Jets, man, but it's really good to bring some real life perspective into this world, man. I'm actually going through my aunt is actually going through breast cancer treatment right now. And she's good. She's diagnosis is good. Everything is good. Not it's like I know a couple other people who are going through it as well. So it's really good for you to it's really good to to see that you just bringing some real life perspective to the podcast, man. And it was good hearing from Elena and giving her perspective with everything. Absolutely. So I just want to just thank you for having her on the podcast.
Well, thank you. That's what I do it for. Like you said, we talk Jets on here. We have a lot of fun. I really enjoy going back and forth with folks, but we need to keep in mind that there's some real things going on around here, and anything that I can do to support that as well. The fight against breast cancer has touched my family as well. I will do. I absolutely will do. And again, my thoughts are with your family as well, going through that situation. I hope everything works out completely fine for you. So, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. So, hey, but
let's get to it.
I want to get right into it, man. I've been waiting to talk to you, man. I've been waiting ever since this Marcus Maye stuff happened. I've been waiting for you, Mister. Oh yeah, Marcus Maye. He's a great leader. He's way better than Jamal. This, that, and the third. He's not. Okay. He's not. What? So what? Let me ask you. You think you're gonna get 2 first-round picks for Marcus Maye, sir? Probably not.
Well, no.
Where's his accolades?
Okay.
Where's his accolades?
Okay.
Where are they?
Hold on.
He has none.
Let's wait a second. Okay. First off, again, I want to welcome you to the show. I already see you're coming on with quite a bit of fire. I'll extinguish that in a second. Here's the deal. All right. You look at the situation with Marcus Maye, right? Marcus Maye is at a position where, okay, he wanted a new contract. The numbers were far apart. He wants to be gone. I'm a guy, I'm going to keep it real. If Marcus Maye wants to move on, the Jets have tried everything they can. I'm ready for the Jets to move on from Marcus Maye as well. I don't want to hold a guy here. I don't want any distractions. I don't want this guy here if he does not want to be a part of this team and what we're doing, where we're trying to build. Now, do I think we'll get 2 first round?
Who wants to be a part of the losing culture,
One second, Monty. 1 second.
Who wants to be a part of a losing culture?
1 second. Oh, well,
Okay.
We're rebuilding.
Okay.
We're rebuilding, okay? But hold on a second. You asked, okay? Now, do I think we'll get 2 first rounders for him? No, I didn't think we would get 2 first rounders for Jamal Adams. But am I willing to take a second rounder? Am I willing to take some other change as well? Maybe a player back in exchange? Absolutely. That's what I'm willing to take. I think we can get a second rounder, especially with these DUI things swirling around his head, right? I think we could have possibly have gotten at least the first rounder
troublemaker
before. Not a troublemaker, but a guy, that has a DUI arrest, right? And we're seeing what's going to stem from that. But with all of that swirling over his head, I absolutely think that is going to tank his value. Now, I'm going to give you the floor because I'm going to ask you, if we do trade Marcus Maye, what do you think that we'll get? What is the most that you think we'll get, and what is the least that you think that we'll be able to get for Marcus Maye?
I think the most we'll be able to get for Marcus Maye is probably maybe a 4th or a 5th round pick. You have to think about it. It's mid-season, so unless somebody they're desperate for the position, I don't think anybody's really gonna trade, a second round pick or a first round pick for Marcus Maye, especially since he's coming off injury himself, and he's pretty much always injured.
What?
I think
how is he always injured, Monty? What facts do you have to back that up?
He's
Monty?
always. Joe.
What?
Joe. So we're not gonna act like he doesn't have knick-knack injuries like all the time.
Listen, he played the first year, right?
He missed the whole season.
He missed one half of a season. He missed one half of a season, Monty. Outside of that, he's been healthy since he's been here. Outside of this ankle injury he just had. Outside of that,
he was injured.
Okay.
He was.
Come on, Monty.
He had nagging injuries last year too.
He played with them. He played with them, Monty.
Okay.
And he played with them. So I need some facts. As a matter of fact, if you go back to last year, Monty, he was actually one of the best Jets on the team. He was actually voted team captain. He was a team MVP as well.
Being one of the best Jets players, what does that get you? What does that get you? Does that get you a Pro Bowl or something?
It shows you that he was a great player, Monty. Was he not? Did he not play well for us last year? Yes, he did.
That's not saying much.
Oh my God.
What was our record? Being the best player on a bad team doesn't mean anything. That just means you're just the best player on a bad team. That doesn't mean like if you were to go to San Francisco, you would be the best player.
What are you talking, Monty?
Or if you were to go and play,
Monty, yes. What are you talking about? This guy continuously has shown you his ability. He was the best safety. He's been the best safety on his team since he got drafted. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Monty? We've seen his skill set
because
consistently.
when Jamal Adams
here we
when
go.
Jamal Adams was on the team,
Uh-huh.
he had 2 all-pro years.
Mhm.
I've never seen Marcus Maye have anything close to all-pro.
Oh, well,
But that's
can
just
I ask
me.
you a question?
That's just me, Joe.
Can I ask you a question? So again, and I know
Yes.
this. You know what this is? This is a troll because you love Jamal Adams. That's what it's really about. And you've always been wanting to dig at Marcus Maye because everybody said, "Look, Marcus Maye is a guy that we can move on with. Forget Jamal. Let's move on from him." You've been bitter ever since we got rid of Jamal. Well, here's the deal. What is Jamal doing in Seattle? What is Jamal doing in Seattle?
That same energy.
What is Jamal doing in Seattle?
Same energy that you gave Jamal.
What is Jamal doing in Seattle?
That same energy that you gave Jamal.
What is
Joe,
Jamal doing in
that you
Seattle?
gave Jamal. Oh, he's a bad teammate.
He
He's
is.
a bad
He
teammate
was.
That
And he was.
He wasn't. He wasn't. Joe Douglas is just a bad GM.
What?
That's what it boils down to. Jamal Adams was willing to be a Jet for life, but the fact that JD never committed to Jamal after he said that he would, Jamal was just like
Monty. Jamal literally told a random Cowboys fan. He literally told a random Cowboys fan that he was trying to be a Cowboy. He literally took an interview with Manish Mehta, one of the most hated guys in Jets media. He did a full-blown interview with him and said and completely bashed the crap out of the Jets. What are you talking about being a good teammate? How many people came out? How many people came out after Jamal was gone? How many people came out after Jamal was gone and said, "Man, I wish we would have kept Jamal"? How many players came out and said that? Nobody did. Nobody. As a matter of fact, he got into it with Le'Veon Bell as he was going out the door, and Le'Veon Bell even called him out. So how great of a teammate was he really?
Yeah.
Let's be serious here, okay?
Because
Jamal's moved on, and when I keep asking you, Monty, what has Jamal done in Seattle? What is he doing there? Since he's so great, he hasn't done nothing. You want to know why? Because he is what I told you. He is what I told you he was, Monty. He's an overrated box safety that can't cover a bed with a bed sheet. And unless you send him at the quarterback, he thinks he's an outside linebacker. He's an undersized outside linebacker that can't figure out how to cover. He's one of the weaknesses of the Seahawks defense. He's giving up coverage yards constantly because he's not a hybrid. He can't cover. He's a safety, Monty. He's a safety. While you called in here and you used to scream, we used to go back and forth, and you would talk to me about sacks. He's getting so many sacks. I said, well, does he play defensive end? No. He's a safety. We're your coverage skills. We're your coverage skills.
I don't care what your position. Can you affect the game? As a sack, did he have more sacks?
Seattle has one of the worst defenses in the league. How is he affecting the game there, Monty?
He had more sacks than Franklin Myers.
Oh my Lord.
He had more sacks than Franklin Myers. Yeah, a guy that we just gave $11 million to.
Monty. He is a safety.
So I'm just saying, JD. This is just how bad. This is just how bad the team is. Joe Douglas just needs to go. I'm tired of him.
What?
Anybody that was good on the team, Joe Douglas does not want to pay. He's proven it. Sam Darnold. We got Jamal Adams. We got Marcus Maye. We got Robbie Anderson. We got Leonard Williams. We have all these guys who can produce. And Joe Douglas says, you know what? I don't want to pay you. I'm just going to get rid of you and give you and get draft picks for you and draft nothing. I'm going to draft Zuniga. I'm going to draft Ashton Davis, who hasn't done anything. Let me draft all these below average players with all these picks I'm getting back. He's a fraud, Joe. How can you not see that this guy is trash? How can you not see it? Okay, Joe, let me ask you this. Can I ask you this, Joe?
Monty,
name all the best players that are on the Jets right now.
You are crazy, Monty.
Name them, Joe.
Completely crazy.
Name all the best players on the Jets.
Mekhi Becton is a good player. But again, Monty, hold on. Before you say those things, I think you need to realize that we're also a very young team, right? We're building. And that's what we needed to do. All those guys you're talking about we got rid of, we've been able to move on from, and we brought in talent. If you look at this team, right, you look at this New York Jets team, it has talent on it. But yes, it does. Corey Davis is talented, right? Jamison Crowder is talented. Again, I just talked about Mekhi Becton. Elijah Vera Tucker is talented. When you go to the defensive side of the ball, Carl Lawson was supposed to be here. He ruptured his Achilles. I know you're laughing at Carl Lawson. You're laughing because you're the crazy one, Monty. Carl Lawson is a guy that Joe Douglas also grabbed in. He's here. He's talented. When he comes back, we're going to be right. John Franklin Myers showing up, right? We got Bryce Huff showing up, Sheldon Rankin. We've got guys that are bringing it. Quincy Williams, who's been phenomenal this season.
Bryce Hall,
what are you talking about, Monty?
Like I like Bryce Hall.
Okay, so who drafted Bryce Hall? Who drafted Bryce Hall?
Joe, hey, I give him credit.
Come on, Monty.
Bryce Hall is the only talent I see on the defense, man.
Monty, you are completely crazy, man.
As far as young players,
Joe
Douglas, young
Douglas,
players that were drafted, he's the only talented player.
Are you serious? You don't think Michael Carter is talented? You don't think Elijah Vera Tucker is talented? What are you talking about, Monty? What are you talking about?
They're unproven.
So Mekhi Becton's not talented.
Have you seen? I mean,
wow.
He hasn't really done anything.
Okay, all right, Monty.
He hasn't done anything. Like, none of these players have done anything significant. Like nothing. They're just guys. They're holding down the fort for a possible 2-15 team. Like that's it. So on the offense, the only good talented guy that I really see that I think that we have is Zach Wilson. That is it. That is the only blue chip prospect that I see on this team.
Joe Douglas
guys,
drafted him as well.
I mean,
you literally contradict your points by all these guys that you're mentioning. Joe Douglas drafted him. You think he's a blue chip talent? Joe Douglas drafted him. All these other guys, how can you sit here and say things?
So how many draft picks do we have? How many draft picks did we have, Joe? We had like 1 billion draft picks, man. So
Okay.
I should see more talent on the team.
All right,
I just gave you 2 guys out of the 24 draft picks that we have. So you mean to tell me we only have 2?
Monty, we have more than 2. I just think you want to dump on guys. There's guys, again, that have shown flashes. Nezruddin, I thought, played well. We saw other guys as well. Sherwood, I thought, played well. Some of those guys got nicked up. They went down. But when they come back, we're going to continue to see that these guys are talented. We have We have some young, talented players on here.
I hope so.
But we're continuing to build, Monty.
I hope so.
We're continuing to build, man. Well, Monty, listen. I gotta get back to these lines.
I hope so.
Yeah, I gotta get back to these lines,
man.
We've gone
ahead, y'all. It was good talking to you, man.
Next show, I want to hear from you, Monty, because we gonna go back and forth, bro. You have a good one, all right, man.
Have a good night, man.
All right, you have a good one. Woo! Listen, Monty calls in. That was that was Monty, everybody. Monty. That was Monty. He said what he had to say. We're going to get to everybody again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. Call in. The lines are hot. We're going to get to everybody. Please be patient. Monty calls in and things just go awry. Do you see how he gets my blood boiling a little bit? I stay calm. I stay composed. But come on. Mekhi Becton's not good? Like, come on. Salutes to everyone in the chat. Please like the stream if you have not liked it already. Also share the stream as well. So I'm always grateful when people do that. If you'd like to support the stream as well through the Super Chat, please do. Outside of the Super Chat, you can hit the Cash App. If you don't want to go through Super Chat, I have a lot of people that say, hey, I do not want to, get to the Super Chat. I want to go straight to your Cash App. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. Please give to the Cash App if you'd like to. Anything you give is greatly appreciated. And again, ! Coleman in the chat brings up a link directly to the Susie G. Komen Foundation for a fundraiser. That money goes directly to the Susie G. Komen Foundation. If you can give to that, it'd be greatly appreciated. $1, $2, whatever you can give is greatly appreciated. So we're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, everyone, please be patient. The lines are hot. Monty just absolutely goes crazy. Donovan, I'm coming directly to you. Donovan. Salutes to you, Donovan. I want to thank you for calling in. I'm coming off of a of a scuffle there all over the phone with Monty. We're definitely going back and forth as usual.
What the heck was that? He was bugging out. Like, I get your frustration, my G, but like, oh, you need to relax. Like, you bugging out. Like, wait, you mean to tell me that there's no talent on the roster? And we have the youngest roster in the NFL?
Yeah.
Like, this is an evaluation year. We all said that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get me wrong. We can get into, because you saw me in the chat during the game on Sunday.
Yeah.
I almost, listen, it was rough Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just as mad as you. I've been a fan for just as long as anybody who's probably listening to this. But I'm just saying, like, whoa, pump the brakes. You got to pump the brakes. He was talking really crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and the one good thing I would say about Joe Douglas, before I even forget this, because I was thinking about it when you guys were talking, regardless of what anybody says about Joe Douglas, we get great compensation for anybody that we let go. Yeah. And on the other end of that, they all went to where they wanted to go. Sam Darnold went to a situation where he was able to get a new start, and he was thriving. I mean, he had 3 interceptions this weekend, but whatever. He was thriving with a whole new scheme, and good for him. Yeah. Same thing with Jamal Adams. We all talk crap about him, but, hey, you wanted to go. You got to go where you wanted to go. You're on a bad defense. You're on a team that isn't going to make the playoffs, and we have your first-round draft pick. Thank you, sir. Enjoy where you're at. Like, what has Robbie Anderson done this year?
Yeah.
You talking about Robbie Anderson? Robbie Anderson hasn't done anything this year except for against us. He had that one touchdown down the field. That's the only touchdown he had all year. He hasn't done anything. So, I'm off of that. I'm off of that Robbie Anderson nonsense. Congratulations to Franklin Myers. He deserved it. Yeah. Leonard Williams was a bum for us. He played for his contract, and he's a bum for the Giants right now. All the moves we made were, like, realistic. Now, if you want to talk about what Joe Douglas has brought in as far as, like, the talent and stuff, I can get what you're saying. Because that first draft that he had, none of those players are playing right now. Huge problem.
Well, Hall's out there.
But it is what it is. I won't say he's the worst GM.
Yeah, he's definitely not worse.
Because we wouldn't promise Jamal Adams a contract. We didn't even promise that we would freaking draft Peyton Manning. Calm down. And you're going to say Bill Parcells ain't nobody? Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it.
Well, and again, I love Monty. We go back and forth often. I know a lot of people, we argue a lot. I have nothing but love for Monty, and, he has nothing but love for me. We go back and forth. But I disagree with Monty about his JD takes. I do. Again, I'm not a Joe Douglas apologist. I'm not. I know that there's some areas where he needs to clean up. But again, he only had so much. I think a lot of people also forget that he came into a team that was dealing with the fallout of Mike Maccagnan. Mike Maccagnan was horrific. He was a horrific general manager. And we watched that guy completely ruin this football team. Years of bad drafting, years of bad free agency signings, bad contracts that JD had to pull us from up under to get into that situation. That was one of the reasons, right? One of the key reasons why I was saying that we needed to get rid of Jamal Adams. It was because the mistakes that we made yesterday, we were paying for today. I remember telling people that constantly, all right?
Yep.
But, man, Monty, he stoked the fire. So we definitely go back and forth. And, again, I want to thank him for calling in. But, his take is his take. But I want to get your thoughts on this situation with Marcus Maye, man, because let me tell you something. A lot of people are ready to move on from him. And the trade deadline's coming up. It's going to be on November 2nd. Do you think the New York Jets will make a move and get rid of Marcus Maye? And what do you think we should be able to get back for him?
We should definitely make that move. I said in the summer we could. I would have been fine if they made the move in the summer. I had no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, at this point, you just left us in a crappy situation, and the agent tweeting nonstop is annoying because, dude, you didn't even report this properly with the NFL. So now you have Twitter fingers, and you want to sit here and cap for your freaking your guy. But this is your fault too. You messed up wherever his next destination may be because you didn't report things right. Yeah. So now instead of a 4-game suspension, which you would have probably got, it might be an 8-game suspension because you didn't report it properly to the league. Yeah. So now you put the Jets in a bad spot, and you put yourself in a bad spot.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean it's tough. And again, with all that looming over his head, I think that cuts into the value. So I'm wondering now, before I thought maybe we could get a first rounder possibly, but now I'm thinking maybe a second rounder and some change. I mean, what is the least you think we'll be able to get for Marcus Maye?
You think we'll get a second rounder for Marcus Maye?
I think we could. I think a second rounder and maybe a fourth rounder. You don't think so?
I believe before all of this came out, I think that would have been possible. But now, I say you'd be the most you could possibly get is one third rounder. But anything else, realistically, I think maybe a fourth rounder and a flyer player, maybe. Like, I just don't see it because whoever's the next franchise that's going to pick him up, they know they're going to have to take the 4-game suspension or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. He's not the youngest player he's not the youngest safety. He's not the oldest either, but I don't feel comfortable throwing a bag at this guy when he has how many more years before he's on his decline? He's going to turn 29.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, it stinks the way things are set up for guys to get paid, especially running backs too. I think that's super foul. I think running backs should get paid for what they did, not what they're about to do, because the window for a running back being a top running back nowadays it's small. What is it, maybe 3 years?
Yeah.
You'll have 3 really, really good seasons, 4 at best.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of your rookie contract. Now you have to renegotiate, and they're looking at you funny. So it's messed up the way it goes. I don't make the rules, but I'm saying I don't want the Jets to get hit with something that we shouldn't be doing either. I don't think we should be paying Marcus Maye $14 million a year when he's going to produce for us maybe one good year on that contract.
Yeah. Look, I hear you.
And who knows what type of injuries, because he did get injuries. That's one thing I would agree with what the last caller said.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Maye has injuries. He had the neck injury. He has neck. I mean, the neck was the biggest one, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're getting an older player too. So
yeah, but even with those, I mean, we've seen he was a little nicked up before, especially I think like in preseason his first year, but he played all of the games his first year. It was the second year where we saw the injury. But he was able to come back, and we saw him, be able to play the third year. He was fine. So I think a lot of and I understand, people talking about injury stuff.
Bad about him. I like Marcus.
But I think a little bit of the injury stuff for him is a little kind of overblown. Because again, we've seen guys miss time like that as well and come back and play well, and we saw that with him. So, but we'll see what happens going forward. But there's a lot of talk as well. A lot of Jets fans looking to make a move because that trade deadline is coming. We're starting to hear more and more about it. There's a lot of Jets fans that want to trade for O.J. Howard. They want to see the tight end position addressed. Are you one of those fans as well?
I mean, what kind of compensation are we giving the team for O.J. Howard? Because I just watched him last night, and he looked a little limpy with that Achilles tendon still.
Yep.
I'm not saying he isn't a talent. That's a big tight end. I like O.J. Howard, but what I saw, that little capsule size of what I saw last night, we're better off getting Zach Ertz. At least he had a touchdown.
Yeah. Well, Ertz is he's in Arizona. Now they got traded to Arizona, so yeah. Yeah.
I'm just now getting out of work. I haven't touched my phone. The message came up. I've been wanting to call.
Oh, yeah.
So I just called the number real quick.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. Listen, I hear you. He just got traded to Arizona for Tay Gowan, I believe, and a 5th-round pick. So he's already in Arizona. I know a lot of Jets fans were looking to get him too, but now he's gone. You know what I'm saying? So he's off the market. And that's why a lot of people started talking about O.J. Howard, and I'm looking at the situation like, hey, look, I understand. I don't understand really some Jets fans' infatuation with O.J. Howard. I don't get it because I don't think he's ever really lived up to that draft status that he had. He's never really done anything. But I think the tight end position, I understand.
And I don't think he can block. We need a blocker too.
I mean,
you can't just keep flip-flopping guys. You gotta know what's going on.
Exactly. And I understand, people want to boost that tight end position, but I'd rather take the compensation. If we do trade Marcus Maye this year, if it actually does happen, let's take that compensation and then continue to build the football team with young guys. O.J. Howard is not a guy that I would be interested in bringing in, especially not trading for. So my final question for you, Donovan, because you're bringing the heat right now, bro, is when you look at this team, we're going into a bye week now. What offensive unit has impressed you so far this year? What offensive unit has impressed you the most? What offensive unit has impressed you the most this year?
which offensive unit.
Yeah, what position group has impressed you the most this year?
I mean, I talked a lot of crap about the offensive line. They kind of like sewed it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I can somewhat appreciate that. Still a turnstile with Van Ryan, but and McGovern got to go. I can't stand him either. But I like what they're doing. I think it's just I don't know why we're abandoning the run as fast as we are every single game. It's like, okay, now here goes our hot shot quarterback. We got to market him. Let's have him go out there and throw it all over the yards. I don't think he's there yet. We need to lean more on the run. And, like, I get what people are saying that they want a tight end and everything, but where we're at offensively, I just don't see how a tight end – because we have guys like Denzel Mims and we have Crowder and we have Elijah Moore that we have to get involved with that they haven't even been involved in this past 5 games realistically.
Yeah.
And even Keelan Cole too. I like him a lot. But I feel like Zach just literally, no matter what, I'm going to throw it to Corey Davis. It's going to happen. We got to move the ball around. And we have to stick a little bit more with the run so we can play action off of it. I like that LaFleur was actually calling plays for him to actually roll out. It stinks that we run the same routes every single time, but hey, that's a whole other thing that defenses seem to pick up. They run the routes better than our own receivers.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other thing. But they need to really the defense needs to. The penalties are they're ridiculous.
Yep.
It's every third down.
Yeah.
I get it. You guys got a bad penalty on that first drive. That should have been a 3 and out. 100%. But when it didn't happen, everybody's shoulders down, head down. Where was the fire? We all sat on here and picked the Jets to win. Yeah. Everybody picked the Jets to win.
Yeah.
Even the announcers picked the Jets to win. And they didn't even know what to say about this team. They don't watch the Jets or Atlanta. Yeah. So it was super awkward watching that on TV because they only know about the Cowboys, Green Bay, whatever, the mainstream teams. Yeah. So it was weird watching that, but the Jets didn't give them anything to talk positive about either. It was terrible from start to finish. And quite honestly, we shouldn't even have the one win. We got excited off of that. And I was excited too. I thought that maybe we're going to change the page. It's not going to be this. I didn't want to be negative and be like, oh, this is the game that we always lose. I didn't even want to be that way because I thought we were turning the new league, but we got to slow down. This team is young.
Yep. And
LaFleur, Salah, if you're that boss head coach that oversees everything, you should be sitting down. It should be Salah. It should be LaFleur. It should be Zach. And you guys, and even Connor McGovern, bring him in too. Bring him into the fold because he's the one who has to call the line calls and shout out the coverages. Yeah. And it doesn't seem like he's good at that. Yeah. So you guys, all 4 of you need to be on the same exact page. So this way, Zach gets a clean pocket to throw it. Because eventually, all that rolling out business, we even saw it last night with Philly rolling out Jalen Hurts. These defenses started picking up on it with the RPO.
Yeah.
You have to be able to sit in the pocket at some point and throw this ball and look off freaking receivers and throw to somebody else. You can't get locked in. And I know he's a rookie, but I just don't want to see the same Sam Darnold 2.0. That's what I don't want to see.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think a lot of that, like you said as well, I think a lot of it is, some of that is due to play calling and some of it is just Zach starting to get that feel. But I think, again, LaFleur's play calling, especially early, could be a lot better because, like you said as well, and we've, I've had discussions with multiple people, our play calling can get very predictive, especially, on first down where we're coming out, we're running constantly. People just can predict what our play calling is. But listen, Donovan, I got to get back to these lines, man. They are hot. I want to thank you for calling in and bringing the fire, all right? You have a good night, my friend.
All right, Joe.
You have a good one. Listen, Donovan calling in with the fire, man. About the heat. Again, we'll continue with the lines. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, I'm going to my guy, Shaq, man. We're coming to Shaq. We're coming to Shaq. CT Steve, hold on one second. We're coming to Shaq, all right? Shaq is going to bring the heat. We all know that he knows his Jets, and he has his takes, man. Salutes to you, Shaq. I want to thank you for calling in. Shaq, give me your thoughts about this Marcus Maye situation. Do you want to see the New York Jets trade him?
Man, Monty came in with the fire. I thought I was bad. Boy, I can't lie to you. I would say he bought greatness, but I'm not going to fully agree with him. Honestly, you know Marcus Maye. You know how I feel. You know how I feel about Jamal. Yo, we got 30-minute segments of us talking about Jamal. You know how I felt about him, and we you know, Marcus Maye. I wasn't, you know, really a super fan of him, but you know, I'm like, you know, he'll be good to keep for the future. But like, you know, like you guys said, you know, he's 28. You know, why would you pay a 28-year-old big money? You know, Marcus Maye was never a speedster. So, you know, the older he gets, he's going to get even slower. So, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Get something for him. I said you should have got something for him last year because our team was so bad. You know, it's better to get something, you know, for him now because you knew his contract was coming up. You knew it was coming up. You should have got something for him last year in the middle of the season because you most likely could have got what you're looking for, Joe, because I don't think we're going to get a second and some change.
What do you think we'll get?
Second, I think we'll be lucky. But I think we could get a third with, you know, a fifth or sixth, you know, that in that direction due to his contract situation, due to his age, and due to, you know, what's going on in, you know,
with the DUI
outside
stuff
of football.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, so that's why I said it was better to do it last year. You should have did it last year. We could have got a second and some change last year.
Yeah. You know, and again, I want to thank you for calling in. Look, like I said, I think we can get a second, but I understand why people are saying, hey, that value is going to drop because, again, even without the age and the, you know, having to sign a contract, because, again, if you're a team that's looking to get him, you already know that those things are coming with it. But that DUI arrest and the charges swirling around, that makes a lot of teams that probably would have been, you know, more in the chase kind of back away like, whoa, wait a second here. You know, with this on the table now, can I trust this guy? Is this a guy that I want on my team now making these kind of decisions? Do I want this guy in my locker room? There's a lot of questions that come along with that. And when you're a team that's giving away capital, that could, again, make a team kind of back up. Now, we were talking about trades. You know, we talked about Marcus Maye, but there's a lot of Jets fans that wanted to see us land Zach Ertz, and a lot of people screaming. Are you upset that the New York Jets weren't able to make a move for him before he went to Arizona?
I am, but I see why we won't make these moves because, you know, like everybody said, this is an evaluation year. You know, it sucks to say that. I still feel like, you know, we could have made some changes, you know, because I want to get back to that Monty situation. I want to really get back to that because I really like that. But, you know, with him attacking Joe Douglas, I don't blame him because the record shows, regardless of what Joe did, how many people we trade for, anything, the record shows. And the record is awful. It's terrible. You know, he's not. I feel like he should be more aggressive because I feel like we can make this a lot faster. There's a lot of teams out there that did it in 1 year, and I can name them. Philly did it because the year before they won the championship, they were 6-10. Jacksonville did it. They won 3 games, and then they went to the AFC Championship game. San Francisco, they picked before us, and they made it to the Super Bowl the next year. You get what I'm saying? You get where I'm going? Like, you can do it. You can pull this off. He just has to be more aggressive with the money. He has to actually swallow his pride and trade back. A lot of people didn't want Sam or whatever, but I felt like he should have traded back on that one. You know, honestly, he just needs some time. I'm giving him time. I'm not attacking him as hard as Monty did, but you know, I just want to just give him some time. Let's just see how it works out, you know, because he, like everybody said, this is a young team, you know, and all this other stuff. And now the Seahawks is declining. They're going to lose. We all know this is they got Geno Smith at the helm. They're losing. There's no question they're losing. So I'm going to give him the chance to, you know, see what he does with these first round picks. It's now that we have the quarterback, and it's some talent. It's some talent. Michael Carter, he's going to be like him.
Yeah.
You know, we could handle the tight end situation if we put Denzel Mims, you know, in a little bit more closer to the line of scrimmage. You know, not a tight end, but like, you know, hybrid tight end like Quincy Williams was. You know, try to play that role with him. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do some things if you don't want to trade for a veteran guy. Because me personally, I want Odell in the building. You know.
Wow, really? You want Odell? That was going to be one of my questions. Was a lot
yes,
of
I do.
There's some Jets fans that are screaming for Odell Beckham. You're a Jets fan and wants to make a move for him?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, because I know he comes at a cheap price, but the problem is the baggage that he brings.
That's exactly what I was about to ask.
Team.
The type of
that's not going to help. It's not.
Listen, Shaq.
It won't help.
No, it won't
help.
Wouldn't you be concerned about the impact he'd have in that locker room? Because again, I'm not here to call people out, but everywhere he's been, it's been the same thing, where a lot of people are saying, "Hey, this guy, you know, he's a cancer. He comes here. There's a lot of baggage brought back with him. The Giants got rid of him because of that. Now we're seeing that he's on the Browns and things aren't necessarily changing over there. Why bring that type of headache to your situation? Especially, again, he's coming off of an injury. How much time does he have left? Do you want that type of stuff? Do you want the remnants of those issues in your locker room where we're just coming away from a space where we were trying to clean things up, you know, here with the locker room as well? Because, again, our past is riddled with issues locker room-wise.
Yeah. You know, that's why I said it won't happen, and, you know, I see why it won't happen, because Odell would come here and rip everything up. We got a rookie coach, rookie offensive coordinator, and a rookie quarterback. No. Now, if we were contenders, you know, we had Bill Belichick in the building, you know, we had, you know, a quarterback that can handle Odell, you know, then that's different. But I know that's, you know, we got, everything is new. Everything is new.
Yeah.
Everybody is learning. LaFleur is his first year offensive coordinator. I'm not ripping him fully. You know, he's learning. He's learning on the fly. I wish it wasn't like that, but I feel like he's learning on the fly. You know, and, you know, Robert Saleh is coaching everybody for the first time instead of the defense, you know, and he brought some improvement to the defense, you know, whether, you know, a lot of people don't like it or not, you know, he's doing a lot with a little. But we thought we were going to have the worst, you know, pass defense ever. Yeah. And he's doing a solid job. Not a great job, not a good job, but it's an okay job.
Yeah, he is.
What he got.
He's doing a solid job. But just to go back to the offense, you talked about LaFleur. I understand that he's, you know, learning or whatever it is, right? But I don't want to have to wait too much longer for him to figure out, you know, learn his job to then make sure that Zach Wilson understands what he's supposed to do out there. I need LaFleur to step up, man. I do. Especially if we're talking about play calling early in the game, especially if we're talking about getting, you know, away from scripts and things like that. I need you to clean it up, dude. Because these slow starts offensively, you not calling plays to get aggressive and take shots down the field early, you being extremely predictable within your play calling is going to cause us nothing but issues. I need LaFleur to get on board, man. I need him to get going faster. I'm sorry. I understand he's a rookie head coach, about so on and so forth. I don't care about none of that, okay? Because we drafted a young quarterback, and you're here to mold him. You're the guy that he's going to be looking to. I need you to step up with your play calling. I do. I really do. So my final question for you, Shaq, because you're bringing the heat, man, but before I let you go, give me your biggest surprise on defense. What was the player that was a big surprise for you that you didn't necessarily think was going to produce as well as they're producing this year so far defensively for us? Man, I might sound stupid, you know, for this side, but those two linebackers, man. I didn't think – you got to think about it. I didn't think C.J. was going to play like that. Okay. I didn't think C.J. was going to play the way he did. Okay.
And I didn't think Quincy was going to play the way he did.
Okay.
I'll tell you why
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought CJ wasn't going to play that way.
Go ahead.
2 years out of the NFL, that's a long time. And then to come back and to play at a Pro Bowl level, you know, it's you know, not even, you know, a lot of people probably might say not a Pro Bowl level, but, you know, it's still a good level for being gone for 2 years. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was, you know, I'm like, man, he's on fire out there. Then Quincy Williams coming in, you know, undrafted. I kind of wanted him in the draft the year he was in the draft class. I'm like, hey, man. He out there dumb. He out there looking better than his brother. Don't get me started. Now, that's a hot take right there. That's hot right there. Now, that's hot. That's hot.
That is hot. That's hot. Go ahead.
Here we
go.
Shaq with the hot take.
I'm
Go
only
ahead,
saying that
Shaq.
because Quinton coming in at the number 3 pick. Come on, man. You can't be getting pancaked on the ground the way you were getting pancaked against Atlanta, man. On the run, man. Come on, man. Need you to get some stronger knees or something, baby.
Yeah.
You can't be getting pushed down. You're supposed to be the next Aaron Donald, man, getting picked at number 3. You can't be out here getting pushed around and not getting, you know, these sacks. John Franklin Myers is undrafted and he's outplaying you. That's not good. He's outplaying you. He's not undrafted. He was a second-round pick, but he's outplaying you. You know, he got picked up off the street. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. These are facts here, man.
Yeah.
He played your position. What's crazy, he played his position, but now he's playing the end position because he's that versatile.
Yeah.
You know what I think we should do? This is going to be bold right here.
Okay.
This is going to be bold right here. Joe, you probably slap me if you see me.
Well,
I think we should trade Quinton. I think we should trade him. We'll get some value, man.
Shaq.
Get some value.
Everything was good, and then
Get some value. With some value. I'm coming with the heat, Monty. You ain't the only one coming with the heat tonight.
Here we
You
go,
ain't the only one
Shaq.
coming with the heat tonight.
Shaq.
You ain't
What-
the only one coming with the heat tonight.
Look, I understand.
You got to think about it, Joe.
Shaq. Well, now we're training Quinton
Joe,
Williams.
think about it.
Go ahead, Shaq. I'm gonna let you finish. Oh.
Think about it. Are you gonna pay Quinton Williams top dollar? Would you do that? A defensive tackle?
I don't think
Would you
you'll
do that?
necessarily have to drastically overpay him. That's the problem. I think a lot of Jets fans look at things like, oh, when a guy comes up for contract, you're gonna have to pay him like, you know, he's Aaron Donald. No, I think they understand where he is. You'll gauge him within a certain range, and you'll pay him effectively. That doesn't mean we'll have to drastically overpay him. Listen, Quinton Williams has been solid for us this season. When he got out there, he started putting on. You look at the things he was doing in that Titans game. You look at the things that he's been able to accomplish this season. The sacks, the pressure, the disruption. And again, this is coming off that foot injury. He's been able to work himself into a very solid groove. Now, his brother Quincy has been phenomenal. I will say that, like you said as well. And I was going to talk about that in a second. A lot of people that pushed CJ Mosley out the door and was talking about trading him, those guys are silent right now. That guy's flying around playing like crazy. Quincy Williams is out here. Nobody was talking about Quincy at all. Quincy Williams is bringing it. But Quinton Williams is also playing well for us too. I'm not necessarily a guy that's looking to trade him. I think if he comes up for a deal, Joe Douglas will be able to get him in here and sign a solid deal. But I don't think we'll have to drastically overpay to keep Quinton Williams. I just don't think that.
But think about it though, Joe.
Okay.
Do you think he's going to take that contract? No, it's up to him. It's up to both parties.
I think he will.
He's going to test them. He most likely might test them. He's going to test the market.
You never know.
I think he's going to test the market and going to try to get the best buck that he can get.
Okay.
He's going to try to get the best buck he can get. I don't think he's going to take no minimum or anything like that.
No.
Due to where he was picked and due to what he think he can do. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, he's a defensive tackle. Come on. He's a defensive tackle.
Listen, Shaq, like I said as well, Shaq, I think he, you know, he's definitely going to make sure that the deal works out for him. But I think Joe Douglas will be able to get this guy signed and bring him in. I truly do. I think when that time comes, Quinton Williams is definitely a guy that's a team guy. You know, you listen to him. He always talks about the Jets. Everyone speaks of him highly. I think he's a guy that would be interested in staying a Jet. I don't think we'll have to drastically overpay him. But listen, Shaq, I got to get back to these lines, man. Again, I want to thank you for calling in. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you. All right, my friend?
Yes, sir, as always.
All right, you have a good one. Listen, Shaq calling in, he interesting points, you know. I don't necessarily agree with training Quinton Williams. I'm not there, you know, and I think we'll be able to work out a deal with them. But again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers. We'll get to everybody. The lines are hot. Please be patient. All right. Next, I'm going to my guy, CT. My guy, CT, is going to call in. I know he's bringing the heat as well. Salutes to you, CT. I want to thank you for calling in. CT, we've been going back and forth all night long. This show has gotten heated. You know what I'm saying? Give me your thoughts about.
I know.
Give me your thoughts about the possible trade of Marcus Maye. Are you a guy that is looking to move on from Marcus Maye? And if so, what is the least amount of capital you think the New York Jets will be able to get in exchange?
First and foremost, salute to you, Joe. Back at it. Respect you for all your content, man. Love it.
Thank you.
When it comes to Marcus Maye, homeboy gotta go, man. I mean, I hate to say it, man, but I love him. I love Marcus Maye.
Yeah.
I don't care about his age. I don't care about none of that. I personally would like to pay him, but that's before, you know, his agent was talking all this, you know, booty chatter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
yeah.
I feel like he's been, you know, if he wants out, let the guy go out, let him go compete with a team, you know, before his career is over, and that's cool, you know, and I understand it. It just, when it comes to things like this, it's just timing, you know, timing. We got two safeties in the 2016 draft, I believe, or 17, one of those two, and, you know, we thought they were going to be here forever, but, you know, when it comes to organizations and when the timing is to push, it's just not right now to then start re-signing people. Unfortunately, there was a huge overhaul, obviously, since then. And it's just part of the process. I know the last caller was like, it could be done fast, but no, it can't. You know, it can't be done fast. This is a process, you know. So getting rid of Marcus Maye and getting some picks, I believe that, you know, it's going to help us with our process. You know, the Jets are not an organization that always had the right coach or always had the right GM and quarterback at the same time. And I always preach that you got to have it all at the same time, or at least two of the three at the same time to then make a push the next year. You know, I mean, a lot of these teams that homeboy named, a lot of them already had the same coach. So they had the same system, same players, and they might have added like a little piece of like, you know, to make them now a playoff contender. We are very far from that. So it's going to take some picks. It's going to take some free agents. And it's going to take some time for our young guys to grow into the players they are. A lot of these guys are first time playing, second year playing, and a lot of guys don't find their rhythm until like year 5 that year. And Brandon Marsh talks about it all the time. He didn't find his rhythm until like year 3, 4, 5, and then he felt like he was, you know, a NFL player with confidence, you know. Yeah. So think about it from that standpoint, you know. So when we get some of these cats like Bryce Hall to actually say, oh yeah, I'm in my third year as a veteran, or, you know, Michael Carter's in his second year, third year, it's going to make the team feel like it's an actual team. Because right now, let's face it, we're all figuring out what this team identity is, and that takes, you know, real game in-game reps. So, yeah, when it comes to Marcus Maye, let's see if we can get a third. I think we can get a third and maybe another pick, like a low draft pick, a 5th or 6th along with it. Or maybe we'll get a third and a backup safety.
Yeah, you know, I've talked about it. I'm looking for a second-round pick. A lot of people have said, maybe before the situation with the DUI, Joe, yeah, you probably would have got a second. But now I know a lot of people that are in your mind frame as well that a third-rounder would work, and they're ready to move on from him. And, again, I love Marcus Maye. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's a great player. But I'm about tired of it as well. I'm tired of this. You know what I'm saying? Either you want to be here or you don't.
Second-round pick, I believe that if any GM can do it, Joe Douglas can do it, because he's done things where I didn't think he can get like third round picks. Exactly. Like Sam Darnold, I didn't think we were going to get what we got for him. I didn't think we were going to get for, you know, Jamal Adams. Yep. So he has a way of, I don't know, negotiating, you know, and if it's a team that thinks that's the one piece they need and they're willing to pay a higher price, then it's possible, because they might want to win this year. Yep. You know, so who knows? Yeah,
I mean, we'll see. But now you're looking at the team, man, because we're also talking about team evaluation. You know, Jets going into their bye right now. So far, what we've seen, you know, the Jets are, you know, have had their ups and downs this season. What is your assessment of Coach Sulla and his staff so far within these weeks? You know, what are some of the things that you've seen that is positive? What are some of the things you think coming out this bye week need to be fixed?
I like them, man. I think if they get a bad rap because they're in New York, I think if they were in a different market, they wouldn't be getting so much heat. Like whether it be, the play calling. When we lose, you realize that everybody says everything is wrong. It'd be like this player, that player, the play calling, the coach, the DM, everything is wrong when we lose. So no one really knows what's going on. They just talk, So, I mean, I like Mike LaFleur. I think his play calling has been fine, personally, because I've been watching back the plays. And believe it or not, there are some people open, and Zach missed some passes, or he does pass, and it's not completed. I know you want them to throw big bombs early in the game, but at the same time, it's just not realistic. The guys are fresh, they're coming out there, they're scouting Zach. It's gonna have to take some time getting that run game going. I think that's the key. I think the run game, once that gets going, then you're just gonna start seeing those, more comfortability where Zach can throw those long bombs. If we don't get the run game going, they're just gonna pin their ears back and then keep smashing us. So I don't think Mike LaFleur's a problem. I like Coach Sala. He's like a CEO type of coach where he's overseeing the whole operation. Yeah. And I think he's an inspirational coach. I really do. When he talks, I think he is very authentic, and I think that's what the players want, somebody who they're going to keep it real with them. I do think that this is a process, though. I think that they haven't figured it out. That's one thing that's for sure. I think they haven't figured it out. And by the end of the season, I'll have a better understanding on what this organization is going to look like going forward. But right now, I don't see any problems, really. I'm really in a positive standpoint of where we're at with the coaches. It just takes time to figure out what your players do best. And it takes in-game reps, unfortunately.
Well, here's, and again, CT, we go back and forth often as well on the show. Here's my issues with Sulla, or here's my issues with LaFleur, is that I hear what you're saying. You're not necessarily as concerned with him, in his offensive play calling. The reason why I am is because I think early we're far too predictable. You talked about the running game. A lot of the reasons why our running game sometimes I believe doesn't work early or has issues getting off the ground. Not a play on words, but has issues getting off the ground is because it's very predictable. Teams can predict that we're going to come out and run on first down. Teams can predict that we're going to try to do some of those things. So I think he struggles, and we've seen this, right? We've seen the offensive struggles early consistently throughout this entire season so far. I think we've only scored one offensive touchdown in all the games that we've played. One offensive touchdown in the first half. That's the most we scored. We scored one offensive touchdown. In the first half in all the games that we played. There's something wrong here. Then also when you start to look a little bit deeper as well, the usage is a little bit questionable as well. The packages that he sends out there. Look, we talk about it weekly. Denzel Mims, bro, where is he at? Every time we put this kid in the game, right, he makes a big catch. Every time. Every time he bails us out of something. What was it? I forgot what game he had one catch for 40 yards. They took him immediately and put him on the bench. The last game we played, we needed a first down. It was like 1st and 20 or something, and we were struggling trying to get back in the game. They put him out there. He gets us a 22, 23-yard catch, gets us a first down, immediately put back on the bench, right? How do you have this type of weapon where we're all talking about, guys are struggling to separate, guys are struggling to get open. Well, every time we put Denzel Mims out there, he finds a way. Why aren't we utilizing this kid more? We also could say the same thing about Elijah Moore too. Elijah Moore, this great guy, you listen to all the beat writers, every Jets fan was saying that he was the best thing. He was the best wide receiver the New York Jets had ever drafted in franchise history. I didn't make that up. Somebody told me that. It was beat writers and fans that told me that, right, CT? Did I make that up? I didn't make that up, right? Okay.
No, you did not make that up.
Okay, so if I didn't make that up, can you please tell me how Elijah Moore comes out of the Falcons game with 0 catches? How is that possible?
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Go ahead, CT.
There is a usage problem. I do believe Elijah Moore and Denzel Mims will have their time. I think that you gotta, when it comes to the NFL, time and history and the know-how matters. I mean, they just respect veterans more. They do. And on top of that, with Denzel Wims specifically,
go ahead.
He was sick. So when you have a team and you're learning new plays every week, sometimes you're installing new plays every week, and Denzel Mims hasn't been there for however long, he's just going to be behind. So his time will come, and I'm not too concerned with Denzel Mims because I think Teos's time will come as well as Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore, when Jameson Crowder came back, he kind of got more shine. So I think that Elijah Moore's time is going to come, down the line as well. I do think they're extremely talented, and I do believe Denzel should be on that other side of Corey Davis. I personally believe so. But Keelan Cole hasn't necessarily disappointed either. So I'm not going to, because, we're not in these meetings, so we don't know exactly what they're dealing with and what, Denzel said he knows what he has to do to get back into the rotation, and we saw him a little bit more in Atlanta, and hopefully we see him more going forward. So, yes, there has been a little disconnect between the fan base and what they're seeing and what's on the field and what they're doing. But I do believe that does take time. When you see a player who knows only a certain part of the playbook because he was late to come back, you can't put him out on certain plays. And it's just about a matter of scheme, okay? You put him in for that play, take him out because next play, we don't trust him to run this right now. That's all it is, and I don't think that it's a necessarily detriment to Denzel. I think over the time of weeks, especially after the bye week, we should be able to get some more play with Denzel. And I hope so. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes down. What I do know is this is a good problem to have. We got two young receivers who are learning the game on the sidelines and every now and then coming in to get some reps. That's a good thing to have, And in the future, our wide receiver core at least is going to have to be stable.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I hear you. So my final question before I let you go, CT, because you're bringing the heat, man. Give me a player that you feel like is the biggest surprise for you on the Jets defense this year. What is a player that coming into the season you didn't really, think was going to do too much, but he's actually picked up and gave solid production?
Man, I love this player. I loved him when we drafted him. Bryce Hall, man, and he's a steal. He's a steal. As he continues to grow and develop, I believe he will be like bona fide number one corner. I think for me, I've seen enough talent to say he's number one quality because he's made some certain deflections this year and last year that I was like, that like a lot of people would have gotten burnt on that play or they would have got a pass interference. He's very disciplined, Yeah. So Bryce Hall, I think is my dude. Like I might get the jersey and everything. Like honorable mention. Yeah, for real. Honorable mention goes to Quincy and he that pick up off of waivers, which has been an impact. And I think low key Javelin Guidry has made some good tackles as well.
Yes, sir. Listen, CT, I want to thank you for calling in tonight, man. Your takes were fire, bro. They were straight fire. I'll give it to you. Yeah. Listen, CT, I got to get back to these lines, my friend. Absolutely. You have yourself a good night, man.
You too. Have a good night. Peace.
All right. Listen, CT brought some heat. I ain't going to lie to you. CT brought some heat. Listen, wherever you're watching me from, please give the stream a thumbs up. Also, share it as well. Subscribe if you have not subscribed already. I want to thank everyone that has subscribed during the show. Please continue. Hit that notification bell as well so that when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Also, if you'd like to donate, the Super Chat is there. You can, if you'd like to give to the Super Chat, please do. Everything that you give to the platform is greatly appreciated. Also, some people don't like the Super Chat. They'd rather, hit me through Cash App. My Cash App's right there at the bottom of the screen. Please, if you'd like to, hit me in the Cash App as well. And again, for those of you, I am wearing pink because I support the Susie G. Komen Foundation, and I want to fight against breast cancer and bring breast cancer awareness. ! Komen in my chat brings up my link to a Susie G. Komen fundraiser that I have started to do just that. All right. So if you can give $1, $2, whatever you can give to that fundraiser goes directly to the Susie G. Komen Foundation. So please give if you can. So we're going to continue to go to the lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Lines are hot, everyone, and please be patient. Next, I'm going to my guy, Steve, man. Steve, salutes to you. Steve, salutes to you. I want to thank you for calling in, my friend. Steve, we have had a night, man. A lot of back and forths. Give me your thoughts about this situation with Marcus Maye. Do you think the New York Jets should trade him?
Hey, Joe. Well, first off, thank you so much for having me on your show, man. I always love talking to you. Before we talk about the thing with Marcus Maye, I listened to all the callers before I came on. I don't know what that guy Monty was talking about. That had to be one of the worst calls I had ever heard on your show before.
Ooh.
That was one of the worst calls I have ever heard.
Ooh.
I have no idea what he is talking about. I mean, we'll get into that a little bit more, but the situation with Marcus Maye is a tough situation we're in now because, listen, he's going to be almost 30 years old. We put him on the franchise tag last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and honestly, we thought at first that maybe after the 2021 season that we would extend him. But now, honestly, with this situation now, where there's a possibility of the rumor that he wants to be traded before the trade deadline on November 2nd, and he wants something to be changed as well. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see what happens. But the thing is, though, now there's another tough situation, that DUI situation that he had back in February.
Yeah.
Now, if that situation did happen in February, then why wasn't it reported to the NFL right away? Because if something isn't not reported to the NFL right away, and let's say if he is guilty, he's going to be on suspension for long term because this wasn't reported.
Yeah. Yeah, look, and again, that's still up in the air whether it was reported, correctly or not. Again, we're seeing the fallout from it because when it was initially, it got to the Jets beat, we saw that even the Jets beat knew nothing about it. They were saying, hey, what's going on? And that in itself as well, like you were talking about, Steve, could affect his trade value because you got to look at the situation. Not only will you be trading for a guy that's dealing with, that arrest. Let's see what happens, comes from that. How much time is he going to miss? Is he a guy that you feel like you'll be able to trust with the big, bag now attached to him? And, he's going to be a guy that's going to be around your team. Can you trust that he won't go out and make another mistake? And you got to also wonder, how honest is he going to be with you if he does make another mistake or if something does happen? Because, again, like you said as well, and the reports are swirling about whether it was reported correctly or not. So it's like, man, it's a tough sell now to another team. And that brings me to my question. Go ahead. But, Steve, I wanted to ask you is now when you look at all that stuff factoring in, if the New York Jets would look to trade Marcus Maye, what kind of value do you think they get at this point? I'm a guy that thinks a second rounder, maybe we could get that. A lot of other people are talking about third and fourth rounders. I mean, what is the least that you would take if you were the Jets general manager to trade Marcus Maye?
I'll tell you one thing. If there was one team I think if Marcus Maye should get traded to, would be the Los Angeles Rams. I think the Los Angeles Rams would be willing to give up anything. The Rams would be willing to give up anything. Because remember, now they don't have 2 first-round picks for the next 2 years because that was part of the Matthew Stafford trade. Honestly, if we could get a second-round pick back, that would be great. That would be great from the Rams. Mm-hmm. Another player that I was thinking about too, about was maybe getting O.J. Howard from Tampa Bay, but I don't know what Tampa Bay would want to give up on O.J. Howard really quickly. Yeah. That's the thing, Joe. But we're going to see what happens, Marcus Maye. Now, I actually want to talk to you about the state of this team right now, because this is the thing that's the most important thing.
Go ahead, Steve. I'm
going to talk to every Jets fan right now, and I want Jets fans to listen to me very, very clearly. Now, this was kind of one of the expected records. I did expect the Jets to be at 1-4. Thank God we're not winless going into the bye. Okay. Now the thing was with the other guy, Monty, who was the first caller on the show, and why he has no idea what he is talking about. Let me explain to you some of the situations that have happened with former Jets that are not on this team anymore. Let's start off with his good old buddy, Jamal Adams, okay? Let's start off with that. Did any of you fans see what happened in the Seahawks-Rams game on Thursday Night Football? What does Jamal do? He can't cover anyone. Nope. He let a Rams receiver go right by. Thank you, Seattle, for giving us 2 first-rounders back, and thank you for paying him close to that $70 million contract for 4 years. Congratulations, Seattle. You're going to be now messed up for the next few years going down the road. Yep. Now, Chris Herndon is another example. He hasn't had a single catch with the Minnesota Vikings. That's another situation. And another thing is with this team is, now going with this team, this is a very, very, very young team. Now, listen, I understand from Jets fans, it's been 10 years that we haven't made the playoffs. Listen, I want to win too. And Joe, I've seen your videos. You want to win as well. Yeah. And I totally respect that. But the thing is about this team, this is a rebuilding team with a rookie quarterback, a rookie head coach, a rookie offensive coordinator. Now, listen, do I think that the Jets could have won some of those other games that they were in this past year? Yes. Like, okay, the past game we lost last Sunday to the Falcons in London, okay, the 27-20 game. But you know something? Listen, there is talent on this team, despite the fact that we're 1-4 with this young team. Like, let me tell you about some other teams that are in worse situations than we are. See, we're a team that's in the right direction. If you want to look at a team that's in a worse situation, why don't you take a look at the Jacksonville Jaguars, for an example? Sir. They're 0-5 right now. They have a coach that players don't want to play for right now. Now, that's a bad situation. Another team is, I mean, I'm not going to go over every other team that's in a tough situation right now, but what people have to understand is that, and the one thing is, I do believe the Jets will bounce back. And this is a great chance for the team to be on a bye this week, okay? You know, everyone's got to take their time with this team, okay? Okay, we got to be patient, unfortunately. Listen, I know there have been times in the last few years when the fans don't want to be patient with this team anymore, but let me tell you, it's a young team and a new young coach. So we got to see what happens. And one thing I will see is we should be all right bouncing back after the bye week, because this will be a good learning experience for us.
Steve bringing heat, man. Give him a hand, studio audience. Give him a hand. Steve, you really brought some heat there.
Shoulder.
Yeah, you brought it. You brought it, Steve. You brought the heat, man. I mean, there's nothing left to be said. Listen, Steve, I want to thank you for calling in tonight, my friend. This was an amazing call from you. All right?
Thank you, Joe. Hey, Joe, listen. Yeah. Let's enjoy the bye week, Joe. Don't worry, Joe. We're going to get back. We will bounce back, man. I know this is going to be some tough stretches down the road for us this year, but I do believe we'll bounce back. All gas, no brakes. Let's go.
Let's go, Steve. Man, and again, I want to thank Steve for calling in. He brought fire. I ain't going to lie. We're going to keep going to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. If you're watching, no matter where you're watching me from, please subscribe to the stream if you're on YouTube. Also, give the stream a thumbs up. Wherever you're at, please share the stream as well. It's always greatly appreciated. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Next, I'm going to my guy, Colin. Colin, we're coming directly to you. Colin's bringing the heat already. I feel it. I feel the heat. You know, Steve really went off right there. Colin, salutes. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Colin, give me your thoughts about, you know, this talk about trading Marcus Maye. Are you a Jets fan that wants to see the New York Jets move on from him?
Hey, Joe. How you doing? Good evening, buddy.
What's going on, my friend?
My thing with Joe Douglas is, has he signed anyone other than franchise tagging them first?
Yeah, John Franklin Myers.
I'm not a stats guy or anything, but
John Franklin Myers. He just signed John Franklin Myers.
Other than John Franklin Myers that we just signed, has there been any player that was like the Robbie Anderson, the Jamal Adams, the guys that had the talent? Has he paid anyone? Like anyone? Has he signed anyone to any long-term contract?
I'm pretty sure he's signed. He's brought guys back. But I mean, he's also got guys in the building, right? He's signed other guys from free agency that were extremely talented too. You know what I'm saying? So he was able to do that.
Yeah, but I just feel like it's a pattern with Joe Douglas where you're gonna get these rookie guys. They're gonna play their 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Bryce Hall, whatever. These guys are gonna shine during their rookie years, and then when it comes to that long-term contract,
mm-hmm.
we're gonna be doing the same song and dance.
But my question is this though. I hear you, Colin. But my question is this, right? When you ask, hey, you know, how many guys did he sign that were talented? Well, how much talent do we really have on this team? When you look at some of the guys we've had walk away, right? Robbie walked away. He got a better deal from Carolina. But Joe Douglas, you know, subsequently did. What did he do? He went out and he got other wide receivers to come in. He went and addressed the wide receiver position. Everyone's talking about Jamal Adams. Listen, dog, Jamal Adams did not want to be here. There wasn't enough money to give this guy. He was asking for $20 million a season. You do not pay box safeties $20 million a season. That's not something we can do. So everyone's acting like Joe Douglas let guys get away that were like, he let 4 or 5 Pro Bowlers get away, and that's not what happened. You have to look at how we were trying to properly rebuild this football team. Look at what we were coming from up under. And again, I don't excuse Joe Douglas for everything. I don't. But I keep it real. Mike McCagnon screwed this team. He did. You look at the bad drafts, you look at the bad free agency signings from Tremaine Johnson to all the issues. Look at the situation we had with Le'Veon Bell. Mike McCagnon had brought him in. Look at the deal that was there. Look at all the things that we had to deal with when Joe Douglas got this job. He had to come from up under those things. So it's not like he let, a Joey Bosa walk out the door or, he let Deshaun Watson get away from him. It wasn't nothing like that. These were guys that, yes, some of them walked away. Again, Robbie Anderson, but he went and addressed that. He signed guys. Jamal Adams, Jamal Adams was gone anyway. There was no way we were going to keep him. So guess what? When he did trade Jamal, guess what he did? He got 2 first-rounders. One of those first-rounders, he was able to bring in some young offensive talent. Vera Tucker's here because of that first round. We'll see what happens next season. Or we'll see what happens next draft with this next upcoming, first rounder, which is looking better and better by the day. So even though Jamal is gone, we still ended up with 2 first-rounders and some change for a box safety. Those are great moves. You cannot continue to blame Joe Douglas for just kind of dealing with some of the stuff that he had. Now, again, is he without blame for some issues? Yeah, there are some things he could have done better. He could have addressed the offensive line a little bit better. Van Roten is not my favorite guy in the world. I wish we got rid of him. But there's other things that were in play where he's brought in young talent and consistently thinking that when these guys get off their contract that we won't be able to get these guys. I don't think it's true. Yeah. Go ahead.
What happens now when you let Marcus Maye walk out the building now? Mm-hmm. What happens to the team now? As far as the secondary.
Yeah. Well, okay. That's great.
The one thing Robert Powell said was he said in one of his press conferences, he said something along the line that, hey, we got to get Ashton Davis reps because that's the only how you're going to become better. Mm-hmm. But on the other side, Denzel Mims is not getting any reps. So how is he going to get better?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you say for one player, but then for the next player, you're saying, well, he doesn't know the playbook, he doesn't know all the plays, but then you're going to say, well, Ashton Davis needs to be on the field because this is how, you're going to learn. Yeah. So it's like contradicting yourself when you say it about one player versus the next.
No, look.
So and I don't understand what's going on with this team, honestly.
Yeah, no, and I hear you, Colin. I'm right there with you as far as the usage of certain players. And I went back and forth. I think it was with CT about this. Is that Mike LaFleur needs to figure out his usage with players. He does. There's no reason that Denzel Mims should not be on that field, getting snaps, going out there and making plays for us. Because every time we put him on the field, he does just that. He makes plays. I also think that he could do a better job of getting Elijah Moore the ball. This is a kid that, again, I was told was going to be unbelievable here, and I just don't feel like we're doing enough to make sure that we can get the ball in the hands of this kid. And I tell people all the time, you look at the Andy Reids, you look at the, Sean Paytons, you look at a lot of these innovative offensive minds around the league, and they come in with guys that are going to get the football. You know it. But they still are able to draw up, scheme up plays to make sure that they get them going early, that they get them, juiced up early so that, guess what, they can make an impact within the game. And I think Mike LaFleur needs to do that. I really, really do. So I hear your takes there. I hear your takes there, Colin. Go ahead.
Yeah. Wasn't that the whole excitement that, with the West Coast offense, we were going to be putting up points, like crazy. I mean, what are we doing? We're not doing anything. We're not even putting up any points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hear you.
The one thing I understand is, you got a rookie head coach. All these guys are rookies. There's no really experience at any position, really. TJ Mosley is probably the only experienced player right now, right, on the team. So it's I always find it interesting that every week, Jets fans are like, yeah, we're going to beat the Falcons 35-20. We're going to beat this team. That's Tennessee game. We didn't beat that team.
Yeah.
That team beat themselves. We won because they missed a field goal in overtime. So for me, that was just like we bite the bullet on that one because that field goal was made. So
yeah, but at the same time, you got to understand that we put ourselves in the positions to win that game, though. There was a lot of back and forth, and yes, the offense, could have been a little bit faster getting going early, but still, we put it together. Even though they did kick that field goal and they missed and we took the game, we put ourselves in position to be there to win that game. So I'm a guy that's always saying, hey, you win, you lose, you lose. And we took a win, so I'm going to take it, especially when you look at a young team that, again, is in that rebuild and trying to find their way. So, listen, Colin, I want to thank you for calling in tonight, my friend.
Take any win.
Absolutely. I want to thank you for calling in tonight, my friend. The lines are hot. I got to get back to them. You have yourself a good night, all right?
All right, Jim. Take care.
All right, you have a good one. Listen, Colin calling in, and I understand the takes, man. I understand the takes. There's some Jets fans. Again, we're talking about, looking at the team. We're talking about, what the team is bringing here. We're talking about evaluation of this football team. There's a lot to discuss. So we'll keep getting to the lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers. Next, I'm going to my guy, Jacob, man. It's my guy, Jacob. My guy, Jacob's on the line, and he knows his Jets, and I can't wait to hear his take. Jacob, I want to thank you for coming on to the show tonight. Give me your thoughts about this situation with Marcus Maye, man. Are you a Jets fan that is looking to see the New York Jets make that trade and move on from Marcus Maye?
Hey, what's going on, Joe? Nice to talk to you again. And I thought a lot about it because I think, obviously, he's one of our best players defensively. And when you have good players defensively, you want to keep them around, obviously. But in the situation that we're in, where we're obviously still a rebuilding team and we're looking for young talent, and he's likely going to ask for 12, 13, maybe even 14 million a season.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to turn 40 before the start of the next season. And now with the thing about the DUI, I just don't know. Because I feel like if a team right now, like the Rams or the Buccaneers, were to offer up a second-round pick, I'm saying yes.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, in a sense, really, like, a second-round pick from the Rams or Buccaneers is really just like a super early third. But I think it's too good to pass up one, especially for the situation where we're in right now, where it doesn't really make sense to sign guys who are already almost 30, especially a very replaceable position like safety, to contract extensions like that. And I love Marcus Maye. He's been a great leader. He's been quiet. He hasn't done what Jamal did and gone out and told fans of other teams, yeah, I'm trying to come play for you. I'm doing my best. He's been humble and he's been a great sport about all of it. And he's fought through it all for us. But I think the situation just makes too much sense for us to not move on from him if the team offers up a second-round pick.
Yeah, I'm right there. I mean, I love Marcus Maye. I love what he brings to the table. Everyone knows I'm a huge Marcus Maye guy. But this stuff with the agent, the stuff, constantly asking to move, be moved on from. It's like, okay, at this point, if we can get a second rounder, I'm ready to move on from it. Especially again with the arrests, swirling around his head. Who knows how much time he may miss in the future? I'm ready to get on. But my next question for you is, and we've been talking about this all night, moving on from Marcus Maye now. If the Jets do move on from Marcus Maye or whatever happens to him in the future, right? How much more pressure does that put on Ashton Davis to progress and get better? Because if Marcus Maye ends up being gone and then Ashton Davis doesn't pan, our safety position is looking like a mess, isn't it?
For sure. I think we really can't ask too much out of Ashton Davis quite yet because he's obviously coming off an injury. And he was a third-round pick just a year ago, so he's still very, very inexperienced. But I think we definitely like to see him step it up a little bit. Do I think he's going to be like a, Cam Chancellor, just because that's what he's known for, really, is just being a really hard hitter. But do I think he's going to be going to be all around the field and just you can't take your eye off him? No, because that's not realistic. But I think if we can get solid production out of him and just, really cleaning up the missed tackles and just getting solid. And next year we go out there and in the third or fourth round, get another guy to go along with him, then I would be just fine with that.
Okay.
But there's definitely a little bit of pressure on him because while safety is a replaceable position, you don't want to have nobody back there because if you go to play like the Tyreek Hills of the world,
Yeah.
you're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think we just need solid production out of him, really. Nothing elite, just above average.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, you know, Jets going into a bye week, we're talking team evaluation. We're looking at the squad and we're saying, all right, you know, after this week, we want to see the team really come out and compete hard. But up until this point, what has been your assessment of Sulla and the rest of the coaching staff? What are some of the positives you've seen? What are some of the things they need to change?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think defensively, I've been a lot happier with our coaching than offensively. I think most of us would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Ulbricht's done a great job. Robert Saleh's done a great job working with him. And then offensively, Mike LaFleur, we're not too sure on some of the things he's been doing. He's made some questionable calls. And the offense has, you know, struggled from it and taken a big hit because of it. But, I mean, the game against the Tennessee Titans is definitely the argument you can make towards saying don't give up on Mike LaFleur just yet, because games like the Tennessee Titan game happen and the offense looks competent, like really competent. And so that was definitely the one biggest bright side on offense. Defensively against the Falcons, I wasn't very happy with how they played in the first half.
Yeah.
Second half, they cleaned it up a little bit, but in the first half, they were really, really terrible, in my opinion, at least. But if you want to look at it in terms of, you know, additions that we've made, obviously signing John Franklin Myers to a contract extension is pretty big because it signifies the change of us going from every little piece of value that we have, we're just going to ship it off for draft picks, into the now stage of we're starting to see this team come together. So if we have valuable players, we're going to re-sign them.
Yeah.
And obviously Marcus Maye being the exception to that. But, you know, picking up Quincy Williams, hopefully we can re-sign him too because he's been phenomenal. But I guess definitely the biggest downside and the biggest thing I want to see changed immediately is adding Elijah Moore and Denzel Mims into that offense. Because the argument they made is that, you know, we haven't had enough offensive plays, so we haven't been able to get them on the field. Well, with the offensive plays you have, put them on the field and then see what happens. So it's like they say these things like expecting, oh, okay, we get it, we understand. Yeah, we're looking forward to watching you guys in the future, and hopefully this thing can work out.
Yeah.
No, we don't think like that. Get them involved in the offense.
Maybe you'd have more offensive plays if you were able to put guys on the field that could constantly move the chains.
That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So sticking with the offensive side of the ball, Jacob, what is your evaluation of Zach Wilson at this point? You know, there's a lot of Jets fans, some that want to, you know, immediately, they're already talking about get rid of him, some that are remaining patient. What do you think he's looked like up until this point, and what do you think is the biggest hole in his game as of now?
That's another question where there's going to be multiple parts to it, because I think overall, I think he's been, you know, below average, but you can't expect too much out of your rookie quarterbacks because not many of them are going to have like Mark Sanchez rookie seasons where they're going to the AFC Championship game and just blowing past all expectations. And I think it's very normal for what he's doing right now to happen to a rookie quarterback. They're very turnover prone in the beginning because they don't see stuff like elite NFL quarterbacks do quite yet. So the biggest flaw to his game right now is definitely turning over the ball, without a doubt. Either that or, you know, trying to make too many highlight plays and not doing the simple stuff correctly. Those are the two things that he really needs to get better at, is knowing when to take that deep shot downfield. Because we all love watching him take those shots downfield, and nobody doubts that he has, you know, a cannon of an arm. But he's really got to be able to do the simple stuff too. And that was beyond clear in the game against the Falcons because he missed time and time again screen passes that could have set us up right at the 1 yard line, way down the field.
Yeah.
You know, into great situations to put up more points on the board. So those are the biggest downsides. But if you look at upsides, obviously the cannon of an arm he has and the ability to just make perfect throws down the field on the run, outside the pocket, and just drop dimes way down the field. And sometimes in the end zone, like we saw with Corey Davis. And I think he's definitely starting to become a little bit more comfortable and form those connections and sort of develop the chemistry with the wide receivers. And I think that'll get better over time too. And hopefully we can see that start to develop a little bit more with Elijah Moore, because throughout all of training camp, we heard nothing but he's just elite already. He's just, nobody can guard him. It seems like the chemistry is there already. He should be just torching defenses when it comes to the regular season. We haven't really seen that yet. So hopefully that will get better too.
Yeah.
But I can't complain too much about what we've seen from him too far, because it's not like we have the Chiefs offense. Our offense is still below average. The offensive line needs a new right guard and a new center probably. And so next year is really when you got to start evaluating it, because it's not necessarily fair to start evaluating it quite yet.
Yeah. Well, listen, Jacob, you brought the heat, man. Let's give Jacob a hand, man, studio audience. Let's give him a hand, because he's brought the heat. He brought the heat. A lot of insight with his takes. Yeah, let's give him a hand. Listen, Jacob, this was a phenomenal call from you, my friend. I got to get back to these lines. I want to thank you for calling in. You have yourself a good night, all right?
Appreciate it. You too.
Absolutely. You have a good one. Listen, Jacob called in with the heat. I ain't knocking it. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're going to take one last caller. Salutes to all the callers tonight. This has been a phenomenal show. 646, I'm coming directly to you. 646, you look like a new caller. Give me your name, where you're from. Watch your background. Mind your background noise. Kind of lower that a little bit. Give me your name, where you're from, and give me your thoughts on this situation with Marcus Maye. Should the New York Jets trade him?
Is it me?
Yes, 646, this is you.
Oh, okay, yes, Mark. So I'm actually going to go by my YouTube name. I go by the Truth Be Told.
Okay.
I think I commented on your videos a few times.
Okay, good to hear from you, my friend.
Oh, thank you. I was trying to call last week, but yeah, somebody said something I wanted to say, so I kind of ended my chance. But I kind of want to vent a little bit today with you. But yeah, we can start off with the Marcus Maye situation. I think that, here's the thing. Like, I'm all like pro players, and I would be more pro team, but the Jets have shown year in and year out that they can't. As fans, we can't even be pro team towards the organization anymore. You know what I'm saying? So when every time a player comes up and it's time to pay them, they don't want to do it, and that's just the truth of the matter. It's been like that since Keyshawn Johnson, as far as I can go. And, I understand Quinton Johnson had that type of personality that is kind of cancerous, but the fact is, like, he got drafted in 96 and we already got rid of him by, 2000? So it's just like on cue. Every time that rookie deal comes up, they don't want to pay. Remember, they didn't really want to pay Muhammad Wilkerson either, even though he was pulling, 10, 14 sacks a year. They Rex Ryan had the bat for him and say he was the best defensive lineman in the game, to get recognized. And they literally bashed Rex Ryan for that. The organization said, don't say that. He even said this in the press conference. I mean, I can't pull it up, obviously, but that's what I recall him saying. So Marcus Maye, he should just be happy that, he's going to get his chance somewhere else. We should just trade him, because this is the right thing to do at this point. Because if you're not going to pay them, then trade them. Get something for them. And I don't know what they're trying to do. Like, every year, it just seems like every time a draft pick needs to come up, I don't know. It just seems weird that we give all these players up, and we don't even really give them a shot. But I want to talk about the organization real quick, because, I feel like, they're not, I was not a big fan of hiring Joe Douglas because of the fact who vouched for Joe Douglas, right? Who got Joe Douglas in the building? Do you know?
Yeah, it was Adam Gase. His relationship with Adam
Gase. It was Adam Gase.
And it wasn't just Adam Gase.
Right.
The Johnson brothers signed off on it as well. But he came in highly reputable too, because he also was coming, in with that stuff.
Yeah,
from the Eagles. They had just won a Super Bowl, and he's also known as a great scout around the league.
No, I'm not knocking that. And me personally, I don't know that. And I'm not going to go by, word of mouth of the league, because a lot of these leagues get their friends, their families. No one really gets a job anymore based on their qualifications. So I don't know that. I'm going by what he's done so far. I'm not saying I hate it, but he's made some questionable draft picks that everybody's just like, whatever. Like already quarterback is already gone. Our safety doesn't look very good that he drafted, and Denzel Mims. Anyway, so when it came to the hiring process, right, for the coaches, remember, we skipped on two really key matchups this year, right? Arthur Smith, right? I think he came in the building for an interview. He got let go, right? And then you had Matt Rule last year, who, in my opinion, exposed the Jets defense since week one, and every team has pretty much been passing to the running back and just abusing us with the running back since week one. So this is when everybody was like, hey, this is Dan Darnold and Wilson, and who I don't know how everybody didn't look at the head coach. The head coach was the biggest story in my opinion. He came in and wanted to bring his people, and the organization said, no, we want to hire like you have a good track record of hiring. So it just seems like a lot of things is questionable. We got a new head coach, which I think he's actually not doing too bad.
Listen, and I hear your truth, and I have to let you go in a second because it's a little bit later on the show. But again, I want to thank you for calling in. Listen, I hear you, and I don't think that Joe Douglas is as questionable as others. We've seen him be able to make moves, right, that have really bettered this football team. We've seen him be able to trade a guy like Jamal Adams, get 2 first-rounders. You also got to look at what he was coming in after as well. When you look at the situation with Mike McCagnon, he had to clean up a lot of the things that was going on there, and now he's trying to start that rebuild. I mean, look at some of the players that he's been able to bring in. Mekhi Becton looks phenomenal. Yes, he's hurt right now, but we're going to get him back. He looks good. We'll see what happens with Denzel Mims once they start working him more into the rotation. I mean, look, he got Bryce Hall late in the draft, and that guy looks like he's going to be a number 1 corner for us. So things are looking up. Again, you look at this class, we're already seeing guys kind of pop out. Vera Tucker's looking solid. We're seeing Zach Wilson really start to get himself under as well. So some of these guys are really putting things together. And I think that, again, if we just give Joe Douglas some time, more time, and again, he's not, without blame. There are some instances where he could get better. But I think with the capital that we have going forward and some of the things that, that we have, especially his draft picks, money, all those things, I think he'll definitely, be able to do more in the future. Truth? Oh, I think we lost him. Truth, I think we lost you, man. I think we lost you. Sorry, your phone kind of went out there, but hopefully we hear from you again in the future, man, because I really liked hearing your takes there, but we lost you at the end. I think your phone went out. But, Truth brought up some great points as well. There's a lot of other people, too, that has questioned Joe Douglas. And, I don't think he's without blame or without fault, but I think we need to also start to look at where we're going. We're in a rebuild mode. This is an evaluation year for us. And I think that, we're seeing what happens going forward. Could there be some better spots that we could pick, some guys that he's going to be able to bring in next season to really address some needs here? Absolutely. You look at the offensive line, right guard's a question mark. I think he'll go after another pass rusher. I think you'll see him probably go after maybe another wide receiver. Maybe he adds one to the fold, depending on what happens with Jamison Crowder. There's a lot in the mix, but I think that we've got some building blocks. We just need to continue to coach it up and see what they can give us. So, man, this has been quite a show. I want to thank everybody for calling in. The callers were phenomenal tonight. Time is tight. We got to get rolling. This has been quite a show. There was a lot of takes on here. So let me go ahead and close out the show. Listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. I'm also on Twitter as well at YoungJ000. Again, YoungJ000. Go ahead. Go on Twitter. Give me a follow. I'll follow you right back. You want to troll me? No issues. I am the troll that lives under the bridge, and I will troll you right back, all right, with my Vera Tucker jersey on at all times. Vera Tucker, another, Joe Douglas pick that's panned out. I'm also on YouTube as well at Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Please go there, Long Beach Joe Jets. Subscribe to that page, okay? Also turn on your notification bar so when I Also click the notification bell, so that when I post content, you folks will be in the know. And if you don't troll me in the comments, no issues. I'll troll you right back on there. And as always, people, when you see me in person, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone, okay? Free hugs for everyone. They will cost you absolutely nothing. No matter what anyone tells you, the hugs will always remain free, all right? I want to thank you folks for taking the time out of your day to listen and call into the show. Without you people, I am absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the times out to call in and listen to the show. You folks are the absolute best. And again, I'm wearing pink. I'm all about, breast cancer awareness and fighting against breast cancer. I want to thank Alina Clavel for coming on tonight and sharing her story with us. Again, please support my fundraiser for the Suji G. Komen Foundation. We are fighting breast cancer, all right? So you folks have a good one. Peace.
60 seconds.
1 second, folks. Am I back? My audio? Okay, I'm back. Salutes. Okay? I want to thank everybody for calling in tonight. This was a phenomenal show. It was packed. For those of you, if this is your first time watching me, it's your first time catching me, okay? We do live radio shows on this channel. ! Links in the chat brings up my link tree. That link tree has the links to all of my content, all of my social media, my fundraiser drive for breast cancer, all the other charities that I deal with as well. We'll continue to have them on in the coming months. So please click that link tree, get involved with everything that I'm doing. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not. Again, for those of you that are watching, yes, we do live radio shows. If you follow me across social media or if you subscribe, you will get the notification way before I go live that I'm going to be doing a show. We have a lot of fun. We also watch games together when I can. We'll be watching games together, and we do live radio shows directly after the game. Okay. Again, I want to thank everybody for calling in. I have a 2-hour show. Yes, my show is 2 hours. I forgot to, I don't know. Some people are new. They may not know. My show is 2 hours. Okay. It's 2 hours long. It's a long time. All right. So when you get the notification, or again, if you see me, generally my show is always going to be outside of the game days. It's always going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Just like, what is today? Friday? Tuesday is when I'm going to do my next show. Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you call in Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, you'll be put in a queue and I can see you. Don't call in and hang up, okay? I can see you. So please, when you call in, just be patient and, you'll get on the line and we can talk. You may not get 30 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Because, we got callers. We got to respect everybody's time, but you will get your time. Also, here's a little trick. And some people have figured it out. I've said this 1,000 times, but, some people may not know. So if you're a caller and you want to get on early, I'm talking about super early, right? In the show, my phone lines always open, I think about like 10 minutes before the show starts. So if you call 10 minutes before the show starts, you'll just be on the line waiting. So then when I come in, you'll be in my queue already. Okay. So then we'll be able to pull NY Jet salutes to you. We'll be able to, I'll be able to pull you up earlier. My producer will be able to get you up earlier. So if you want to get on the show early, call in about 10 minutes before the show starts. Boom. You'll be on early. All right. That's the trick. That's what a lot of people do. Otherwise, again, we'll get to everybody, but you just got to be patient and wait. You believe me. Nobody waits super long. Okay. Even if you have a lot of takes. Again, I can't give everybody 30 minutes to talk. I understand people want to go back and forth about the Jets. I do too. But I got callers. I got to get to everybody. I got to be respectful of everybody's time. So please be respectful of that. All right. Please be mindful of that. And also please be mindful of your backgrounds and your phones, please. I don't want to hear, 45 city buses, going by. Please be mindful of, your background. Please try to get to the quietest place that you can. Make sure your phone's good and call in and let's go back and forth because I want to be able to hear you and your takes, and so does my audience as well. You know what I'm saying? So again, I want to thank everybody that called in tonight. Salutes to Truth as well. Again, a new caller. He was phenomenal. Truth, hopefully you call in next week because I lost your phone, man. So hopefully we'll hear from him next week. And just everybody that call in. again, and I hear, people saying, hey, I'm a little nervous. Don't be nervous. It's just a chat with friends. You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't agree with your take, I'll still hear you out. I'll still hear you out, man. We can go back and forth. You know what I mean? So salutes to everybody that called in tonight. Again, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern is going to be my next live radio show. Also, for those of you that are new, I don't know if I said this or not. We watch games together. We do shows after the live game. We also we play video games on this channel too, which I'll start again once my schedule gets a little bit better, because right now it's really, really hectic. And salutes to all the savages in the chat. Listen, I have nothing but love for y'all. Y'all got to understand that I got to stay focused, because I got to talk to people. I do come to y'all when I can, but I have to talk to people, so I got to pay attention to the conversation. But every time that my eye goes there and y'all see me laughing, it's because I've read one of your comments and you guys take me off of me being focused. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to stay focused. Y'all telling jokes in the chat have me dying. So salutes to all the savages in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Salutes to all of y'all. So yeah, we'll get the gaming going once my schedule cleans up, and I got other content coming for y'all as well. So again, salutes to everybody that called in tonight. This was a phenomenal show, and I really enjoyed talking to everybody. Like every time I have a show, I really, really do. This is the reason why I do this, is to connect with Jets fans and have a good one. So I got to get out of here because my schedule is nuts. I got to get going. So salutes to everybody. Salutes to NY Jets FL. Edward Stewart, salutes to you. Salutes to Val Outlaw. Salutes to NY Jets FL again. Salutes to VH. Salutes to you as well, man. Salutes to Burnt Dice. Salutes to you. Salutes to Eddie DeJesus. It's always good to see you in here as well. Salutes to you. Salutes to everybody that joined. Salutes to Dave. Salutes to, Val again, man. Val Outlaw been in here. Salutes to him, man. Just salutes to everybody that called in tonight, to everybody that was in, the chat tonight, that just, was, just going back and forth. Salutes to Sco. It's always good to see him in here as well. Salutes to Monty as well. Monty, we always go back and forth. We're going to keep going back and forth. And, just salutes to everybody that joined in. Salutes to GM. Again, I want to thank him for donating to the platform. Salutes to Mr. Magics too. Just salutes to everybody that came in and talked tonight, whether it be in the chat or called in. It was just phenomenal to speak to y'all. So listen, before I get out of here, be safe. Okay. Be safe out here. There's a lot of crazy people. Be safe. Okay. A lot of crazy things going on. Be safe. Enjoy your times with your family. All right. Enjoy your times. And just have fun. So enjoy times with your family, have fun, and be safe out here. A lot of crazy people. There's a lot of crazy people out here. I don't know what's going on, but there's a lot of crazy people out here. All right. So just be safe. So y'all folks have a good one. Again, I will see you Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, I will see you. Okay. Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Everyone, please call in again. Let's talk about, what we got upcoming, the next game we got upcoming. That's what we're going to discuss Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. All right. So